Greetings, everybody, from beautiful Lexington, Kentucky. It is the USL Championship in the Western Conference tonight as Lexington SC welcomes Monterey Bay, currently top of the West, to their old Kentucky home tonight at Lexington SC Stadium. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espin, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. And Ricky, after the perfect start to Lexington's time in the USL Championship, they've hit some choppy waters since.
Lexington is just looking for consistency within their performances. They've done a nice job at finding the back of the net with some amazing goals, but the problem is, Sean, they're leaking goals as well. So expect Terry Boss to have his side really compact to start this game.
What will help during some of these inconsistent moments for Lexington is one of their constant goal scorers in Corey Burke.
Corey Burke is a nightmare to defend because he's big, he's physical, and he's really good at the hold of play. But he also has very soft feet to link up with the players underneath him. Getting Corey Burke early and often involved in that final third will be crucial for Lexington.
It's going to be interesting to see if Corey Burke can continue his strong start to this season tonight against strong opposition. Speaking of strong opposition, Monterey Bay have been flying, and they just took out the defending champs last time out.
Monterey Bay is playing with full of confidence after that big-time win at home. They have a sense of freedom within that front three that are very explosive, but it's actually been their defensive prowess. They're really good at their box defending and winning their 1v1 duels. Expect Monterey Bay to start this game full of confidence and asking some questions of Lexington.
Jordan Stewart's got them in a fantastic place just 6 games into this regular season. Remember, Monterey Bay have never made the playoffs. That's going to be a big goal for them this season, led, of course, by their leading goal scorer, Elijah Paul.
Elijah Paul is quickly becoming a complete player in USL Championship because he has the skill to beat you 1v1, but he can also combine with the players around him, and he's shown that he's a ruthless finisher. Look for him to ask some real questions of Lexington's back line.
It's going to be interesting tonight. Both of these two teams, of course, have never met in the USL Championship. That will change tonight as Monterey Bay hope to stay on top of the Western Conference, but they got to go through Lexington in their Kentucky home tonight if they're going to do so. Kickoff is next.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types, from complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
Race to the top.
You're on.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings, grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Raise it back down.
So kick it up a notch with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union, the official credit union of Lexington SC.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story, leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types, from complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
Welcome back, everyone. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espin, our entire crew, moments away from kickoff between Lexington and Monterey Bay in the Western Conference of the USL Championship tonight. We'll see if the Seasiders can stay on top of the Western Conference standings in these early weeks and months of the USL Championship regular season. Lexington are certainly in search of a victory tonight, but first we look at Jordan Stewart's starting 11 for the mighty Monterey Bay.
4-4-1, the way that Jordan Stewart is going to stand up, but my eyes go to that front two, Paul and Soyberg, because that relationship needs to be spot on. Paul's going to stay as high as he possibly can, so that allows Soyberg to operate in between the pockets. Expect this Monterey Bay side to be expansive with Ivanovic and Revlar working on both sides of the ball.
Hoping to make it 5 wins in their first 7 to start the season for the Seasiders under the head coach tutelage of Jordan Stewart. First ever meeting between Monterey Bay and Lexington. Terry Boss has this 11.
4-2-3-1, but it all comes down to that middle three. That balance needs to be spot on. Williams will stay a little bit at home. Zafal will push in a little bit higher. And Firmino, if he gets on the ball early and often, that allows that front three to be expansive, to be really aggressive, and putting some pressure on Monterey back line.
Well, so far this season, Lexington have certainly had moments to celebrate. But since that opening night, they've yet to accomplish getting that second victory, and they've started to slip a bit in the really difficult to navigate Western Conference of the USL Championship. Monterey Bay haven't had as much of a problem so far. 4 wins out of 6. They're top of the heap in the West. That is certainly saying something. But can Jordan Stewart's side continue to stay there? Getting there's one thing. Can they maintain their place at the top of the West with 13 points to their name so far? They're unbeaten in their last 5, the Seasiders, and they watch as the men in black, Lexington, kick us off, and we are underway here in Kentucky. Lexington will be going from left to right. Monterey Bay are in their beautiful blues. And we will see in this first ever meeting between these two clubs how it all plays out here at Lexington SC Stadium in the beautiful state of Kentucky. We just talked about how Monterey Bay are unbeaten in their last 5. Lexington are winless in their last 5. They had that incredible Hafferty howitzer on opening night that saw them beat Hartford. They haven't gotten a win since, Ricky, and the games are starting to pile up even this early in the regular season.
And what a big opportunity this is for Terry Boss and Lexington to welcome the leaders in the West and really take this game to them. So getting them in a rhythm the first 10 to 15 minutes, really important for Lexington to try to test Monterey Bay's back line.
And to be fair to Terry Boss's side, they did pick up a point the last time they were at home. About a week ago, they got a 0-0 draw against a feisty Las Vegas Light side. But it does feel a little bit at the moment like a missed opportunity to get all 3 points. And now, as good as Vegas have been at times this season, now you're facing arguably the hottest team in all of the USL Championship this time around. It's going to be linked forward up ahead. Lexington just about had it covered, and then after a few headers in and around, it stays with the Seasiders on this near side for a reset. Guzman plays it into the center circle, and then further helped along by the former North Texas man in MLS Next Pro. Nico Gordon won a title last season with them, as did Speedy Williams with Colorado Springs last year in the USL Championship. He helps to move it upfield for Lexington. Then it's strong defending from Monterey Bay to hold Rodriguez in his tracks. Free kick for the Crisp and Kelp, as they're known.
Fantastic 1v1 defending from Adrian Rebelar to drop down and not lunge in and just pick the pocket of Rodriguez. He's really taken that next step in his progression on both sides of the ball as a top player Adrian Rebelar has.
Now Terry Boss looking on. 2-time Open Cup winner as a player with the Seattle Sounders, and now has come in to try to help Lexington mesh really well in this USL Championship format. Again, they've gotten some results that they can certainly be proud of. A few draws, and obviously the big win against Hartford that started it all. But as we've seen in the past, slow starts can come back to bite you, particularly in the Western Conference. There's been a few outliers over the years. Oakland and others come to mind from years past. But it can be so hard to make up those points. Although as soon as I say that, I remember that Colorado Springs got off to such a bad start, and they ended up being the champions last year. But of course, that is the exception, Ricky, not the rule.
But that's also the beauty of USL Championship, right? The disparity. Yep. Everyone can beat anyone at any given time. So every time you walk across this white line, you have to put your best foot forward.
And that ricochets out of play. It's a Lexington throw just to the right of the technical area for Monterey Bay, where Jordan Stewart occupies the space. And it was such a tough finish to Monterey Bay's season a year ago. They really faded at the end of that playoff chase, and Jordan Stewart admitted they just didn't have enough depth at the end to keep up in the Western Conference playoff chase. He feels like they have it now, and now he's got the results to back it up.
And I love what Jordan Stewart has been able to do starting in the offseason. You bring in players that are hungry, that want to prove themselves at the USL Championship level, but you also mix that with experience. And he also has pressed all the right buttons to give them confidence. And that's why we start to see Monterey Bay really successful to start 25.
Could this be a chance here for Lexington? It's played down that far side of the penalty area. In the end, Monterey Bay have enough shirts behind it to deal with it, and they will just about clear it away before it trickles out of play on the far side. Our referee tonight is Thomas Schneider. He is in red, and the sound of his whistle gives Lexington a free kick inside the center circle. LSC fans, visit lexsporting.com to get your latest Lexington SC news, merchandise, and discounted ticket offers. That's lexsporting.com to find out more. That's clipped onto the near side. Joel Garcia Jr. nowhere to go. Settles for a throw. Last time out for Monterey Bay, we highlighted a late Malongo goal in the 83rd minute, helping the Seasiders take down the defending champs, Colorado Springs, by 2-1. Another marquee win, and what's been a really good start to the season. Ivanovic towards the near side corner, is collapsed upon, but does well and wins Jordan Stewart's side a corner.
Fantastic work from Ivanovic, just to pick up his head, see no one help, and just simply knock it off of the Lexington defender. Good opportunity here for Monterey Bay.
Monterey Bay FC corner kick number 2, equals 3.
Corner is taken short, and it's a decent strike, just wide from Garcia Jr.
Love this pick out from Bryant. Everyone thinks his ball is going to be pumped into a dangerous area. Garcia about 19 yards out, unmarked. He hits it so well, that thing is moving. Just pulls it wide of that near post, but you just see how dangerous Monterey Bay can be on set pieces.
Just off the training ground, perhaps. Jordan Stewart and his side have certainly shown a different kind of bag of tricks so far this season. Lexington win the header initially, but it's going to be a Monterey Bay throw. Good battle in the middle of the park. Ethan Bryant lost out initially. Monterey Bay have it back. Near side, Guzman. And Garcia, not the best of touches, gets it back to Guzman, who clears. Doesn't quite get across the halfway line. Paul picks it back up to reset the attack. And then through the line, Soyberg helps it along, ends up giving it away.
Just a balance between Speedy Williams and Zafal needs to be a little bit better, because that time they both got caught a little bit too high, and one pass from Fanga just broke that whole midfield line of Lexington. So understanding as one step, the other one needs to provide coverage underneath is going to be really important for Lexington.
Another free kick there. Last time Lexington won, this was in all competitions, was in the Open Cup against Southern Indiana. So again, trying to just get that winning feeling back, particularly here at home, where they've had some good moments so far, but communication breaks down on that incisive pass into the middle. Could the Seasiders maybe stride their legs up the other end, led by Elijah Paul, who's been in excellent form? Little step over from Paul, tries to find Ivanovic, and those long legs allow him to keep it going. Ivanovic's strike. He's saved by Logan Ketterer.
Just how quickly Monterey Bay can turn their defense into offense. Jordan Stewart, we've talked about him allowing that front three to be fluid and have a lot of rotations. Love that Ivanovic is a little bit selfish here. Uses his body as a shield, but not enough contact to really test Ketterer.
Luke Ivanovic scored his first league goal a few weeks back against Orange County in what was a convincing 3-0 win against one of their rivals in their state of California. Many showdowns between those clubs, of course, but that was such a big early win for Monterey Bay to show that they were for real in these early stages. And now Nico Gordon wins a free kick off of Corey Burke. The ball just about kept in play initially there, and then Monterey Bay win a throw-in off a ricochet. Well, if Monterey Bay avoid defeat tonight, they'd be unbeaten in 6 matches for just the 2nd time in the club's history. It's something that is a rare thing. And then if they go anywhere beyond that, they'll reach very much new territory. Last time they did that, of course, Frank Yallop was still the coach. We kind of hinted at it earlier as Lexington get the free kick. The big mission for this Monterey Bay team is to go where no Monterey Bay team has in these first few seasons, and that's to the playoffs. They've come close multiple times, a few times under Frank Yallop. They faded at the end of last season under Jordan Stewart. Of course, Frank Yallop began the campaign as the head coach. They really want to get it over the line so far and kind of take that tag off their backs.
And I think the word that you said earlier, Sean, was just how do you maintain this form that Monterey Bay is in at the moment. I think that is the key to everything. What can Jordan Stewart do to keep his side motivated, to keep them continuing to believe and trust the process? Because this far they've done a fantastic job at scoring goals. They've only conceded 5 times within the first couple games here, so that shows that they are good defensively, but also they have a sense of urgency going forward. How do you find that balance and that consistency for the remainder of 2025? That's going to be a big talking point for Jordan Stewart.
Campuzano will reset the play for Monterey Bay. Now out to the far side, Lions forced to retreat. Not too surprised at the feeling out process so far. These teams have never met. It's a first all-time meeting, so barring big mistakes, is Monterey Bay just about get that out of harm's way. Both of these teams trying to find some gaps and sort of figure the other out in these early minutes.
We've seen Lexington do a nice job at understanding when to press and when to drop off and be into a mid to low block. And that really forces the 2 center backs for Monterey Bay to pick and choose their times when to bypass that pressure, but try to play in between the lines.
Not a bad catch by Terry Boss.
Good hands, huh?
Yeah. Well, it leads me into one of the best facts about anybody in the USL Championship, which is that Terry Boss's brother Kevin was a tight end on the 2007 Super Bowl winning New York Giants team that beat the, I believe they were 18-0 New England Patriots.
What a stat that is.
If anyone's got a better stat than that, I'd love to hear it. Good hands running the family, it appears. But of course, Terry Boss was a pretty darn good player in his day. We mentioned it earlier, 2 Open Cup wins with the mighty Seattle Sounders of MLS. Marcus Epps, meanwhile, marauding into the penalty area with a little bit of a flick to the edge here. Speedy Williams, who did not score for Colorado Springs in their championship-winning season a year ago, tests Nico Campuzano here.
Love the aggressive nature here for Lexington. Getting a lot of numbers in the attacking 18-yard box. And we talked about the importance of Speedy Williams in that central location, understanding when to be a little bit more advanced, but also when to drop off.
We talked about interesting facts. Some of the interesting ones around Speedy Williams. One, hasn't scored a league goal since he played for Miami back in 2021. Played his entire 2 seasons with Colorado Springs. Never scored a goal in the league. Won a cup anyway, because we know how good he is, of course. And has won cups at multiple stops, of course. Won multiple with Louisville. And is, of course, a champion last year with the Switchbacks, their first ever crown in the league. And his sider on the attack here. It's Epps to the back stick. It was a lunging attempt at it by Kieran Sargent. And it ricochets out of play. Looks like it'll stay here for a corner.
Marcus Epps is one of, if not the best 1v1 player in all of USL Championship. The ability to pick up his head and just put a dangerous ball in with quality as well. You talk about an outside back crashing towards that far post. Sargent, in the end, lines does quite well to close down that space and ricochet it out for a corner kick for Lexington.
Kieran Sargent was playing in MLS Next Pro last year for Houston Dynamo 2. That's a Lexington corner here, presented by Commonwealth Credit Union. Switch right into the middle. It was headed away off the edge of the 6 and then volleyed back in. Not far away from where Joe Hafferty had to go, of course, on the first night of the season. Ends up flying out of play. The USL on CBS Sports Network continues in April. Hot starting San Antonio take on the reigning champs, Colorado Springs. April 23rd, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. You can see it live on CBS Sports Network. Here comes Lexington again. Rodriguez. Sargent loops it across and ends up finding Epps on the edge of the penalty area near side. Epps cutting in field, nowhere to go. And Ivanovic and Guzman link up to clear it away for Monterey Bay. And then was there a little follow through on the tail end of Guzman's clearance? He stays down. Looks like the whistle did go.
Lexington doing a nice job of getting themselves into that final third, but Rodriguez has the right idea. Just send Sargent too far wide, and he closes down the angle. And now you're asking a lot from your outside back in terms of the quality. And as Marcus Epps stands up Garcia, good read from Carlos Guzman just to step in and provide some coverage for his outside back.
Well, cheers to local beer. West 6 Brewing is proud to be the official craft beer of LSC. Find their locally crafted beers all around Kentucky, from the flagship West 6 IPA to the 6 Light Lager. As another shot comes in here, blocked away towards Epps. Head to west6.com. Find out more, visit one of their dynamic tap rooms, and learn about Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC. Here comes Monterey Bay up the other end. Paul does well, leaves it for Soyberg, who returns the favor. And Soyberg forced to go all the way back to Garcia on the halfway line for a reset. Ethan Bryant, the former Next Proer with the Sporting Kansas City organization, helping out there. And then Garcia had the right idea with a bending ball over the top, but Lexington are well positioned to deal with it.
Monterey Bay having a really difficult time to try to combine centrally. Soyberg, the number 21, needs to become a little bit more available, whether it is dropping out and just creating a numerical overload with Fong and Ethan Bryant. there's just been a big disconnect from that midfield line to that front line for Monterey Bay. Good ball here.
Well, Lexington do well there to split the lines, and it's a lovely ball out to the far side here. Rodriguez wants it early, and he gets it. And then Rodriguez is caught offside by the assistant's flag on the near side.
Really clever movement for Rodriguez. As Sargent has pushed his wide and high, he has the ability to come centrally and almost plays a second striker. Just a tad bit off with his timing.
Paul for Garcia. Well, Monterey Bay have had to absorb a little bit of pressure here in the last few moments. And Guzman with a bit of a poor pass there, but great hustle, I should say, by Paul to get it back. And Garcia resets to Nico Gordon. Plays a lovely ball out to the far side here. Time and space for Lyons. And Lyons puts in a pretty good ball. Ivanovic nearly falls kindly for him here. Paul looks to put the pressure on. It's going to be Ethan Bryant who skies it into the seats.
Almost a really bad mistake here for Lexington. Unable to clear their lines. And as his ball pops out to Ethan Bryant, he's leaning back, and that's why it goes up and over the crossbar. Just notice the way that he takes his first touch out of his body and the way that his body just leans back after. That's why it goes up and over.
Well, Burke won the initial header, and then there was a little nibble on that challenge from Rodriguez on Bryant. Guzman and company look to build again after one of the better passages from Monterey Bay in the final third so far tonight. And more times than not, Monterey Bay have really looked creative in the final third, at times really silky and smooth and really fun to watch. And we've seen that before with some Frank Yallop Monterey Bay teams, but for so long last season, it just didn't look like that. I'm sure a lot of the Seasiders are happy. It's a welcome return to some of that really free-flowing attacking play.
They've shown that they can hurt you in different ways, whether it is playing in between the lines, whether it is playing a little bit more direct and winning second balls. Jordan Stewart has done a nice job at understanding. Good touch here.
Rodriguez for Sargent. Rodriguez forced to turn around too much in the end behind him. Campuzano resets for the Seasiders.
And over the last 5 minutes, we've seen Monterey Bay's spacing become a little bit better, all because of Soyberg. He pops in right off of the shoulder of Paul, so now that affords the striker to stay as high as he possibly can and make the field as big as it can be.
That's going to be a foul and a free kick. The fantastic Lexington support on the near side overwhelmingly disagree. Lyons with time and space finds Bryant. Bryant picks his head up. It does slither through, but a touch was needed. And Ketterer is there. Of course, Logan Ketterer, not his first time, for those that know the league, playing in the USL Championship, was a mainstay with El Paso on some really, really good Mark Lowry teams from the end of the 2010s into those early 2020 seasons, teams that were contesting for Western Conference crowns year in and year out. And of course was able to go to Portland Timbers, played a few games there in the MLS, Club de Foot Montreal for a little while as well. And now he's back in the USL Championship, playing consistently with this Lexington SC side in their first year in the league. And his side will get a free kick here, just to the left of Jordan Stewart. Because these Lexington fans have not only been cheering for the men's team, but of course they've been cheering for the women's team in their USL Super League debut this season. And actually they're playing as we speak against Brooklyn in the Big Apple. It is 1-1 for those that are maybe not following along with both games. It's a pretty good time to be a Lexington fan, and it can only get better potentially with the way all of this is set up. Again, not just with the men's side, but the women's side are also starting and continuing their inaugural season in the second half of the campaign. The Super League, of course, has just been doing so well as on top of all that, Ricky.
It's back-to-back actions that both center backs for Monterey Bay have done a nice job at just reading the play. Nico Gordon just picking the pocket of Corey Burke, and then last time, Carlos Guzman just intercepts the ball in.
That ball bounced over the top. Ketterer did well just to stick a boot on it at the expense of a Monterey Bay throw. Sometimes you just need a veteran presence in those indecisive moments. Ketterer does very well, and then his teammates help him out on the throw-in. Lexington do need some more numbers to join in on the attack. Firmino does really well to pick out a teammate on this near side. It's Hafferty. Hafferty keeps on going, finds Epps on the near side. And some clever first touch passing has Lexington still in possession. Oh, lovely little flick. And a beautiful little give and go to Firmino. Nick Firmino out to the far side. Chance here, Rodriguez. Sargent plays it across the face. And in the end, it soars over the top and out.
How good is this from Zafal and Nick Firmino, centrally playing off of one another? But as this ball rotates back out to the left-hand side, Rodriguez's pass into Sargent is just too heavy. Sends him too deep towards the end line and cuts down the angle. This is the bit of cleverness and how quickly this Lexington side can combine. But this ball needs to take a little bit weight off of it because it sends Sargent just too close to that end line. And it makes life very difficult for the outside back to pull it away from the goalkeeper.
A few nearly moments each in these 27 minutes of play. It's one back here by Monterey Bay. Elijah Paul moves it forward. Time and space for Revelar on the far side. Revelar forced to retreat towards the sideline, does have help, but it's a first-time ball in by Lyons, just over the top of almost everyone. Ivanovic picks up the pieces, clips it back across, nobody there in blue, and Sargent heaves it out of play. And it took a ricochet as well. Lexington keep possession. Well, fans, lexsporting.com to shop at the Lexington SC team store. It's your one-stop shop. The latest LSC gear and official merchandise. You can purchase kits, scarves, hats, and more, just like these fans have, to show off your club pride. Lexsporting.com is where you go. Firmino, clever from Speedy Williams. Epps did get an overlapping run on this near side from the aforementioned Hafferty. Williams again. Zafal tried to switch the play. Epps did everything he could to keep it in play, but it is going to be shepherded out for a goal kick. Fanguk dispossessed by Speedy Williams. And then Rodriguez played it centrally for Firmino. Did enough to keep it going. and then finds Williams again at halfway. Kendall Burks. And Williams. Gibert. Gibert was just about able to find a teammate there on a scuffed pass.
And notice how Lexington builds out. So Speedy Williams drops in between both center backs, and what that does, that allows Hafferty and Sargent, the two outside backs, to be really aggressive in their positioning. Now you allow Epps Rodriguez to come a little bit more central and connect with Corey Burke and Nick Firmino. So that's a little bit of a tactical wrinkle that Terry Boss has implemented here.
Campuzano gets it away to Guzman. Nearly half an hour gone here in Kentucky. Ivanovic, twinkle toes, just about keeps it alive. Nico Gordon down the line for Lions. A few players wanted for Monterey Bay inside the penalty area. Lions does not oblige. Fanguk. Guzman is looking to provide the service into the penalty area. And then the initial attempt on service is blocked away. And now maybe a chance for Lexington up the other end. Burke is going to try and test the goalkeeper here, but Campuzano watches it bounce out of play.
You love the effort from Corey Burke to pick up his head and see Campuzano off of his line, but you need to hit it with a lot of power, and he hit it very clean to be the keeper from that distance.
Fanguk was able to just about pick out Garcia. And Guzman again for a recycle for the Seasiders here. Bryant. Lions for Rebelar. Rebelar gives him a ball to chase towards the byline here. Lions does get there, but could not keep it in play.
Fantastic bit of combination play in that far side between Rebelar and Miles Lyons, but just that second pass from Rebelar just too heavy. If you can play it into the path of Lyons so you can take that first touch and face up, Sargent, now you can be in business if you are Monterey Bay.
The other thing too, Ricky, we've talked about all the players that have been making an impact for Monterey Bay. Rebelar, for example, team of the week last week in the USL Championship. That just kind of begins the list. Still have Alex Dixon out. Xavi Nalani's been questionable. Grant Robinson still kind of on the mend as well. That could add to what's already a pretty deep squad. Jordan Stewart certainly feels that way. And then, where's Monterey Bay going to be? That's another big point to talk about in the weeks and months ahead.
After 2024, one thing that Jordan Stewart said, look, we weren't deep enough. We didn't have enough options coming off the bench and enough quality that players that can come on competition in the squad. I don't think that's a problem this season. So far, so good for Jordan Stewart in Monterey Bay.
Bryant from Gordon, then Lions forced to retreat. Ooh, Campuzano, not the best of touches, but had enough time in the 6-yard box to clear it. Bounces across the halfway line. Speedy Williams picks it back up for Lexington. Bryant steps in, and Rebelar helps out as well on the defensive side of things. Soyberg now has time and space and threads the needle beautifully to Elijah Paul, who enters the penalty area. Paul with a step over, plays it across the face of goal, and Lexington get enough behind it in order to just about clear it. Now can Lexington break up the other end? It's a beautiful ball to find Marcus Epps on this near side. Epps into the penalty area, lays it off, and it's a big block by Nico Gordon to thwart Nick Firmino. Chances at either end.
This game's starting to open up here for both sides as Terry Boss looks on. The extra effort from Nico Gordon is spectacular. Campuzano's beat and the recognition to drop in and provide some coverage for his goalkeeper. Exquisite for the captain. I love this cutback from Marcus Epps, and now Firmino needs to hit it first time, but that is some recognition and some bravery from Nico Gordon, because this ball has eyes for that far post. Firmino hits it well. Great work from Nico Gordon.
Well, Nick Firmino is just one of those quality players inside the penalty area. He tends to hit the target. That's what the best players do at a bare minimum. It took some heroic defending to stop Firmino from scoring. Burke, ooh, tried a clever little outside of the boot flick into the penalty area. Now Rodriguez on the turn, tried to find Firmino, who again was thwarted by Gordon. But Rodriguez picks up the pieces. Sargent on the far side. Sargent tries to thread the needle, cleared only as far as Zafal. Now Speedy Williams gets involved in the attack. Zafal has time and space. Plays it out to that far side where Rodriguez is looking to make a cross. Instead, he's forced to find Gibert behind him. Williams. Again, pulling the strings here. Gibert down the line. Sargent cutting in field. 10 minutes to go in the first half. Still at 0-0 somehow. Burks. Williams again, who's sitting deep. Rodriguez. For Burke. And Burke. Try to reverse ball in behind for Firmino and finds Campuzano. LFC fans, be sure to join us Thursday, May 1st. For the Republic Bank Road Rally as Lexington travels 60 miles west to cheer on the boys in green as they take on Louisville. Very exciting outing, includes a road trip, bus ride, food and drinks at West 6 Nulu, a scarf, rally towel, and of course a boatload of fun. Lexsporting.com is the place to go. Select Republic Bank Road Rally under the men's tab to purchase your tickets. That is one that a lot of people have had circled on the calendar since the schedule came out. It's incredible that we're just a few weeks away from seeing that fixture play out, as mouth-watering as it is. And Lexington here have a goal kick.
It's also the week of the Kentucky Derby.
Ooh.
So there's a lot of good things, a lot of sporting events in the state of Kentucky.
The fastest 2 minutes in sports, and then the most important 90 minutes for those two teams. That's going to be a wild, wild few days. Oh, Campuzano nearly made a mess out of that. But Gordon and company bail him out. Bryant, though, down this far side for Rebelar. And Rebelar was beaten to it, and then possibly with a push in the back, not possibly, it's been given. Gibert brought down, free kick.
It's been about the third time that Campuzano has almost got caught out in possession. Just a bit too casual from the goalkeeper. And if you're Terry Boss, you're telling your front three to continue to go at him and test his technical ability.
Guzman, who tried to go down the line. Ends up falling for Firmino off the head of Epps. Here's Williams. And Williams plays it in behind for Epps, but Campuzano just about has enough time to let it roll into his penalty area so he could grab it.
Decisive goalkeeping coming off of his line to make sure you make any play on the ball, does just that.
You mentioned earlier, Ricky, the successful pressing that Lexington have had at times. Campuzano and company have certainly had to fight their way out of that more than once already tonight. And some of the fighting continued into the Lexington technical area for the ball there. It's a Monterey Bay throw.
Monterey Bay has found some success when they do have the ability to break through that initial line of pressure.
Ketterer with a little bit of an adventure there, clears it out for a throw.
Sometimes Speedy Williams and Zafal are a little slow at stepping up and staying like for like with that midfield trio ahead of them.
Lovely touch in behind by Rebelar. Ivanovic for the arriving Bryant, who again is not able to hit the target.
It's about the second or third time for Monterey Bay that they've had a really nice look at goal. Love the off-the-ball movement from Ivanovic and the clever cutback, because this back line of Lexington, they're dropping, so the space is top of the 18-yard box. Ethan Bryant needs to hit the target from here. He just steps into it, pick out a corner. And now you ask some real questions of Ketterer. Big opportunity that goes missed.
Get the latest Lexington SC news right at your fingertips by downloading the official mobile app powered by Fan 360. Get access to exclusive content while shopping for season tickets, LSC gear, all in the Lexington SC Fan app. Just under 5 minutes plus stoppage time to go in the half in this first ever meeting between Lexington and Monterey Bay. Certainly have had quite a few chances in this first half. No one clinical enough to grab the early lead. Ball's floated towards Epps on this near side, who couldn't quite control it. Epps continues to battle for it and does keep it in play. And then a couple of shirt pulls from Garcia are finally punished by the referee Thomas Schneider. It's a free kick. And Guzman is being hugged by Thomas Schneider as if he was reacting to what Guzman did a few moments before that.
Good opportunity here for Lexington just to whip this ball into the mixer and cause some chaos in front of Campuzano's goal. Zafal, the desired location is right between that 6-yard box and penalty mark.
Lexington have quite a few players queuing up, kind of level with the penalty spot inside the penalty area here. Zafal to take just in front of the sideline on the near side. Two men in the Monterey Bay wall. Zafal plays it to the edge of the penalty area where it was helped along and needed a touch on the goal line pretty much. Was there a deflection before that? Lexington are saying it should have been a corner. Here's the replay.
Clever from Lexington. Just looking for the secondary action, the second ball in. Good pick out from Speedy Williams. It does seem like Nico Gordon does take that last touch. Nearly Rodriguez gets on the end of it.
Now the Lexington corner brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union. And Zafal did not place it fully on the arc. Now he moves it back into position. Zafal with a high arcer. Campuzano in traffic collects. Campuzano outlets to this near side. Finds Ivanovic. Well, still time for someone to grab some late first half momentum here in Kentucky. Lions. Monterey Bay back in possession here. Fonguk from Gordon. Ball trickles over to this near side, brought across the halfway line by Guzman. Garcia. Lions. Gordon. Final minute of normal time in the first half. Gordon. A chance to maraud a little bit there. Plays it back for Bryant. And Lions. Gordon up ahead. Again, Fonguk pressured heavily, and Gordon tries to outlet it onto this near side. It's a cushioned header away for Epps. Epps dragged around by Ivanovic. Hold up play by Burke for Epps. We dive into 1 added minute at the end of the half.
1 minute of added time.
Be sure to visit lexsporting.com to get your latest Lexington SC merchandise and discounted ticket offers. lexsporting.com. That's going to bounce for Sargent on the edge of the penalty area. His cross is deflected, and Guzman clears it away inside the 6-yard box. Out for another Lexington corner, brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union.
A lot of mobility through that front three for Lexington. Burke, Epps, and Rodriguez. And as Sargent has been really aggressive from his left back position, it's a right idea, trying to play in between that back line and goalkeeper of Monterey Bay. Nick Firmino makes a clever run, but in the end, Guzman does quite well to put it out for a corner kick.
Well, this Commonwealth Credit Union corner could be the last act of the half. Zafal to take. Going to provide that in-swinger. Well, there was a second ball on the pitch. Guzman gets it out of play. And Zafal puts it right into the penalty area, into the heart of the penalty area. But it's a heavy coming together. Oh, and a yellow card for that coming together as well. I think that was Kendall Burks, who went in very, very strongly there. And Nico Gordon was fouled, but Kendall Burks gets the yellow card.
Nico Gordon has been fantastic for Monterey Bay, and that's a hard challenge from Kendall Burks. Nico Gordon gets there first, and it's the follow-through, the little drop with his shoulder that catches the opposing center back. Burks gets into the book.
Hickson bumps in yellow card. And it's the last act of the half here in Kentucky. Well, there was certainly opportunities for both teams, and at times it really went back and forth, but nothing to separate them so far, Ricky.
This game is just asking for someone to produce a little bit of individual brilliance in that final third. Jordan Stewart probably the happier of the two managers going into the break, especially on the road. But for Lexington, they've shown their teeth. They flexed a little bit in that final third, but now you're just looking for some quality closer to goal.
Well, the good news, there's still more to come. Big 45 minutes between these two coming up in just a few moments. Monterey Bay had some good chances early, and Lexington maybe leaving with some of the better opportunities as far as the quality of the chances from that first half. 0-0 the scoreline. We'll look around the league and do a bunch more coming up during the halftime break.
I shouldn't be here. That's what the first 3 doctors said. That even if I made it to remission, I'd probably never climb again. But I did, because I wanted a different answer. And I found it at UK Healthcare. They took a drug nobody else had yet. 12 rounds of chemo and a 16-person team. But here I am, right where I was never supposed to be.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building a future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story and leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
Success isn't a game of chance. It's about making the right moves. Just like Lexington Sporting Club, Commonwealth Credit Union aims to win by helping you defend your goals and keeping your money on the attack. As the official credit union of Lexington Sporting Club, we're empowering success on the field and in your finances with smarter banking options and unbeatable service. Are you ready to take the lead? Then get the home field advantage for your finances, only with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
We live with you, build with you, grow up with you, and dream with you. At Central Bank, we belong to the same communities you do. You're our neighbors, friends, and business partners. And through the relationships we build with you every day, we consistently serve you better. That's what highly personal banking is all about. We start with you.
Well, it's 0-0 at the half between Lexington and Monterey Bay, but possibly this future prom king and queen have just confirmed that they're going to prom together. Great to see that. It's that time of the year. It's good to see that they are going to be going together. And who knows, maybe we'll have crowns on top of their heads in the days and weeks to come. So looking for a goal to crown off our game here between Lexington and Monterey Bay. And there you go, confirmation of the yes for prom 2025. Love to see that here in Lexington. Fans have been treated to a good one so far. Again, this game has ebbed and flowed so far. We'll have the second half in a moment, but first, some of the best goals and saves from around the USL.
Today we went to the beach, and it was totally worth it. Stay 2 nights, get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Whoa, termites can eat a pound of wood a day. 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 What's wrong, Daddy? Daddy? You okay?
Keep termites out of your home and your head with our premium guarantee that covers up to $250,000 in new termite damage. Before panic shows up, Terminix it.
Success doesn't come easy. It takes grit, hustle, and relentless effort. Every step forward brings you closer to greatness. This is your moment. Elevate your game. El Jimador Spiked Bebidas.
Second longest tenured coach in the league, Tommy Sohn, is out in Birmingham. Robbie Nielsen, surprisingly, out in Tampa Bay.
Eric Avila named the interim for the Birmingham Legion. Gets a win on the weekend, but what does the identity of this team look like? Tampa Bay Rowdies, simple, results-driven business. 4 wins in their last 20 matches in all competitions. And how about some cup sets? Open Club glory awaits.
Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espen, our entire crew, happy to have you with us. Halftime in Kentucky. It is Lexington 0, Monterey Bay 0 in this battle in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. Let's look around the rest of the USL Championship with our news and notes. And of course, Ricky, it's one of our favorite times of the year. The Lamar Hunt US Open Cup again has been excellent so far. 12 USL Championship sides are on to the round of 32.
And now the MLS sides come into play. So now the Open Cup just gives each player, each organization an opportunity to test yourself at a higher level. That's why we love the Open Cup. And Buffalo, they'll announce the new 7,400 capacity stadium, and they've already received 1,000 ticket deposits. You know that's going to be a hostile environment.
Maybe a few tables jump through in the pregame. We'll wait and see on that. Jägermeister Cup, of course, first round of the expanded cup kicks off next weekend here on ESPN+. Cannot wait to see the USL Championship go up against USL League One, who had all the fun with the Jägermeister Cup last season. Saturday scores around the USL Championship. Ricky, I think both of us could say a lot of eye-popping results here. Which one stands out to you?
I think number one, Ryan Martin and what he's been able to do with Loudoun. They've been fantastic. Oakland, they're starting to get in rhythm. That's 2 wins on the bounce. Connell Smith having a really difficult time getting back into 2025. And then Phoenix Rising, they were up 2-0. Sean, they lost. Sacramento is up 2-0.
Yeah.
Phoenix Rising have came back. And what about Miami? Up 2-1 at halftime.
We'll be monitoring that one. That'd be a big one for Miami if they can pull that one off. And then Ben Pierman's side, excellent so far in Indy.
Yeah, home or away, Charleston Battery doing a fantastic job. And 0-0 with Lou City and Tampa Bay Rowdies.
Always one to circle on the USL Championship calendar between two of the best the East has to offer. Can the Rowdies pull off an upset? We'll wait and see. Wednesday schedule in the USL Championship. San Antonio hosting the champs, Colorado Springs, 8:30 p.m. on CBS Sports Network. And then on Golazo, a good one. Dennis Sanchez's New Mexico against this Monterey Bay side.
Yeah, that 9 p.m. on Golazo is a really interesting one. Dennis Sanchez has done a fantastic job in bringing in some real pieces to New Mexico, and everything we've talked about at Jordan Stewart and Monterey Bay, that one you have to tune in for.
Really good games in the Western Conference, taking you through into next weekend's games, which are also going to be excellent in the USL Championship. Got a good one here in Kentucky so far. 0-0 in the first ever meeting between Lexington and Monterey Bay. We'll have highlights, stats, and the second half all coming up after the break.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types, from complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
Race to the top.
You're on.
It's time to power up your old checking account. That's why Commonwealth Credit Union created Power Checking. This incredible all-in-one account powers your spending and with built-in high-yield savings grows your balance at the same time. No minimums, no limits, just unparalleled benefits.
Raise it back down.
So kick it up a notch with Power Checking, only from Commonwealth Credit Union, the official credit union of Lexington SC.
Lexington is the Kentuckiest place in the world. Just look at it. It's by far the bluegrassiest, the bourbonist. See? The artsiest, and hands down, the horsiest. Oh, look, that one has a baby. I don't know why you would look anywhere else. Looking for the coolest, most Kentuckiest getaway? Look at Lexington.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story, leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
UK Healthcare Orthopedic Surgery and Sports Medicine offers comprehensive treatments for bone, joint, and muscle disorders and injuries of all types. From complex repairs to complete replacements. UKHealthcare.com, the power of advanced medicine.
Moments away from the start of the second half, 0-0 between Monterey Bay and Lexington. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez-Espin, our entire crew. Hope you've enjoyed it so far. Got a really good second half coming up in just a few here in the Western Conference of the USL Championship. But
final touch, 0-0 at halftime.
Halftime stats look like this: 1 shot on target apiece, but a combined 10 total shots, so you the quantity of chances in the half.
I mean, you were just talking about that this game is just asking for someone to produce a magic high up the field, because the play in between boxes have actually been pretty good. The tempo's been good. It's been really clean. It's been a good match of football, but now who's going to take that responsibility to stick the ball in the back of the net?
Well, the teams are back out at the start of the second half. Speaking of the Kentucky Derby, a few of the horse hats or masks, if you will, are out.
I think he has to be a favorite, right?
We'll see if it's as free-flowing and fast-paced as it was during that crazy end-to-end sequence in the first half between Lexington and Monterey Bay. That feeling-out process certainly came to a close, probably maybe 10, 15 minutes in to that first half. Then chances started to flood in. We'll see how the second half plays out. Teams, of course, will switch sides. Monterey Bay will be going from left to right at the start of this all-important second half. Lexington trying to end a 5-match winless run, and Monterey Bay trying to go 6 games without defeat for just the second time in the club's history. Something's gotta give in the state of Kentucky tonight. Jordan Stewart's men get the ball rolling for the second 45 minutes here at Lexington SC Stadium. Again, Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez-Espin, our entire crew. Happy to have you with us. It's been a very intriguing one so far. And the way it's been going, it does feel like it's going to save its best this game for the second 45. As Rebellar gets Monterey Bay moving in the right direction, tried to shoulder it down. In the end, Lexington with too many black shirts around it, and they win back possession. Zafal tried to clip it through the lines. Was there a late tackle in there? Yes, referee had a moment to ponder. Gives Lexington a free kick as Firmino was taken out by Funguk.
Great patience here from Zafal not to force the issue and let Nick Firmino just change his angle. And as he plays off of the shoulder of Funguk, now you put your center midfielder in a really difficult situation.
Ujabert picked it out, and it's a first-time ball for Sargent, who did keep the ball in play for Lexington and then tried to go past Lyons unsuccessfully. It's a chance for Monterey Bay on the break here. It's Rebelar up ahead for Ethan Bryant. I beg your pardon, Anton Soyberg. And Soyberg cuts in field, loses out. But it's picked back up here by the Seasiders. Lions resets. Gordon back to Campuzano. Had a couple of nervy moments for Monterey Bay, the goalkeeper, in that first half. And right on cue, puts too much on that outlet to Lions and gives it back to the hosts. Should mention this as well. We talked about the run of form that these two teams have had. It's probably not too early yet to look at the standings as well. A win for Lexington, and they'd only be 2 points back of Monterey Bay, who might not be at the top of the table if they lose tonight, pending other results, but that would put Lexington right back in the thick of the Western Conference chase for the top. Lovely outside of the boot ball to Sargent on this near side. Sargent marauds into the penalty area, a step over, a great ball back across that finds a blue shirt and is cleared away. And then a coming together there, free kick after Elijah Paul was a bit overzealous on Kendall Burks. Rodriguez on the turn. Oh, and it's really well done by Burke. And then Burke had his shot deflected from behind. It's going to go out for a Commonwealth Credit Union corner. More Lexington pressure.
It just needs to be more decisive from Sargent. Notice how many touches he takes at 1, 2. Now that allows Monterey Bay to get to their defensive structure. If he takes his first touch out of his body, with the second touch, he needs to serve this into about 4 willing targets that make runs.
It's a fall to take as Lexington keep knocking on the door in the start of this second half. The ball in, though, is headed just about clear, only as far as Gibert. Williams. And Gibert tried to get it back to Williams and then commits a foul. 1 or 2 Monterey Bay cries for a yellow card there as Lyons gets back up onto his feet. It appears, I should say, that Thomas Snyder doesn't feel the same way.
I think it should be a clear yellow. He just throws Miles Lyons. How is that not a yellow card?
Well, of course, we get the luxury of a replay, but that looked like the dictionary definition, I should say, of a yellow card. Well, Gibert gets away with one there. Here's Rebelar for the Seasiders. Galloping forward, and tried to thread the needle for Paul, and then he commits a foul. Rebelar, free kick. West 6 Brewing is a proud partner of Lexington Sporting Club. The dynamic taproom locations all throughout the state of Kentucky. You can enjoy West 6 locally brewed beers and all your adventures. Enjoy a Stadium Ale, the official craft beer of Lexington SC at all home games for your favorite retailers around Lexington. Well, the pressure forces a Campuzano clearance. Lovely control by Burks to reset for the hosts. 5 minutes into the start of the second half. Williams. And Burks, of course, is also on a yellow card for Lexington. Have to keep that in mind as the half continues. Williams threads the needle for Rodriguez. Lovely pass there by Williams to Zafal, who can run into the space ahead of him and then try to slide it through for Rodriguez. just didn't feel like the pass was on.
Just need to play simple there is the fault. Don't try to hit that home run pass. Like you said, Sean, thread that needle with a lot of traffic in front of you. You have Sargent, as always, the outlet on the wide part of the field.
Now Williams, almost like he's in front of a chessboard, just picking out the right pieces, putting people in the right positions. In the end, Monterey Bay have it with Campuzano. Oh, maybe a misread there by Ivanovic, and he adds insult to injury by committing a foul. Burks, part of a Lexington reset here. Zafal, who's had a really good night so far, and nearly was able to slide that all the way through, but it's picked off, and Monterey Bay could break up the other end here. Ivanovic will reach this. And more blue shirts try to arrive, but it's touched out of play, and it ends up being a corner for Monterey Bay, despite a pretty poor pass back, I should say. You can see the reaction from Terry Boss, pretty much handing Monterey Bay a set piece. Ethan Bryant will take it. Blue shirts starting to flood into the 18-yard box here. Bryant delivers. It was right on the edge of the 6-yard box. Chabert got to it initially, and it was controlled here by Monterey Bay. Out for Revelar, whose first-time ball is going to come up short. Headed clear by Burke, but Bryant will pick it back up and serve it back into the heart of the penalty area here. Headed down by Gordon, and then Gordon tried to get back onto it. Paul resets for Revelar. Monterey Bay doing everything they can to keep it alive. Paul does really well. Layoff for Revelar. Revelar's ball back across, comes up short. And the Seasiders will settle for a throw-in.
Lexington having a really difficult time just clearing their lines. It's been all like half-hearted type of clearances. You need to go up and away. Now you're allowing Monterey Bay not one bite at the apple, but two. And look how aggressive the visitors have been, all 11 players, and they're attacking third.
Guzman's ball in. He's caught by Ketterer to finally alleviate the pressure. Well, a few chants there of Ketterer is betterer from the Lexington support.
We can do better than that, right?
I thought it was not too bad.
Easy, Judge.
If that's what we think, I wonder what the Russian judge would have thought of that.
Bad giveaway here.
It really was, and so was the tackle because of it. Revelar brought down, and surely Speedy Williams is going to have to take one for the team, maybe more ways than one, and he's going to be booked for that 100% of the time.
Just far too casual from Zafal in the center of the park. Takes too long, not enough weight. And Revelar reads that book yesterday. Speedy Williams is forced into a really dangerous situation. He needs to make this challenge because Adrian Revelar has that full head of steam running downhill.
It's a Hickson Pfaffenson yellow card. And one that, well, actually has finally been officially brandished and given to Speedy Williams there. One that'll go down in the book is maybe a Williams mistake, but really all comes from a poor Zafal feed. And from the free kick, it's rainbowed into the penalty area here, and Elijah Paul did everything he could to try to keep it in play. It's a goal kick. Here comes some Monterey Bay pressure. Lexington play their way out of it. Burke on the turn. Loops the ball down this far side. And Garcia keeps it away from Epps. And Campuzano ends up giving it right back to the hosts. Zafal. Again under pressure. Gives the ball away. Oh, and a free kick I think is going to go against Fonguk in the end. And he's a bit perplexed.
But again, Zafal playing a really dangerous game. Slowing the game down, taking numerous of touches. And especially with how explosive we've seen Monterey Bay be turning their defense into offense. Not what you want if you are Terry Boss.
Another giveaway by Speedy Williams of all people. All of a sudden, Lexington in a bit of a funk at the start of this second half. Rebela, though, runs out of room. Well, Chabert and company end up making up for a very rare miscue by Williams. They're collector's items. And then the ball is floated over the top. Nobody there in a black shirt. And Monterey Bay will reset. Here's Bryant. And Monterey Bay could not play their way through the middle of the park. Williams. That's a lovely ball in behind here. Marcus Epps does really well, but Campuzano makes the stop. Oh, it was a lovely little faint change of direction, but Epps did not have enough venom in the strike.
He does all the hard part here. Marcus Epps does all the hard work. And now you're asking for a little bit of composure from your experienced winger to pick out a corner. But the second time that we've seen a Lexington player elect to shoot straight at Campuzano.
Well, Epps and Burke are the only two Lexington players that have scored multiple goals in the league this season. Epps maybe with his best chance there. And now Monterey Bay have a corner.
This first touch from Marcus Epps is everything because he changes the angle now. He can come centrally and catch Guzan. And like I said, straight at Campuzano, you need to pick out a corner if you are Epps.
And we're getting closer to the hour mark where it's already starting to feel like both teams might ruse some missed opportunities. If anyone can find the goal to break the deadlock. Bryant again will deliver. Soyberg got it short. Back to Bryant. His second attempt was blocked. Bryant tries again to keep it in play. Lexington thought it went over the line. Play continues. Guzman into the penalty area, was knocked down. Paul just about keeps it going. Bryant again. Fonguk. Ooh, tried to fit it through a very tight angle with a couple of blue shirts looking for it on the edge of the penalty area.
Monterey Bay FC corner, number 8, Ethan Bryant.
It's going to be another corner for Monterey Bay, who are getting a change ready, we're told. Lexington might also be getting some alterations ready. We'll get to those in a moment. Another corner, another one that comes up short. Burke heads it clear.
Good step.
And he follows up a second time. Great hustle. It stays with the Seasiders, but Corey Burke putting in those extra miles.
Really good work there from Corey Burke to win the initial ball, but also the second ball as well. That type of energy is something that can be infectious for your side.
Well, Jordan Stewart's going to make a double change here. Anton Soyberg will leave us. And one of Monterey Bay's veterans, Moby Fair, is going to take his place. Ethan Bryant will make way as well. And we'll get to see some Pierce Galloway action as well on a double swap. And Terry Boss is also going to make his first alteration of the night as well. Looks like Kieran Sargent is going to make way. And Michael Adidokun is going to come on. Adito Kun, the Nigerian international, making his 4th appearance here with Lexington. Could he come on and maybe be a difference maker? Could say that of any of those players that just came on. Can someone change the tide here? What continues to be a 0-0 at the moment. Challenge comes in there. Free kick for Monterey Bay. Adito Kun with the challenge on Rebelar.
Really interesting location here for Monterey Bay to really whip this ball into a dangerous area and put Ketterer under some pressure, especially with Moby Fair over the ball. You expect quality head height, a lot of whippage and a lot of venom. Hopefully someone can redirect it and really put the goalkeeper.
Yes, some of the service, as you alluded to, Ricky, not up to snuff for Monterey Bay so far tonight. Thomas Schneider just making sure everything is up to code on the edge of the penalty area. Just one in the wall for Lexington as Fair bends it in. And as he does so, there was a foul on the far side of the 18-yard box. It's going to go Lexington's way as we tell you that the next home match for Lexington SC's men's team is the Jägermeister Cup. Saturday, April 26, 6 p.m. They take on Loudoun United. Visit lexsporting.com to purchase your tickets and join for some post-match concert with Hannah Ellis, country music star, presented by LSC. Is Lexington have a chance here? What a save! Campuzano pulls a rabbit out of his hat to deny Firmino. All reactions.
Great work from Rodriguez just to force the issue and pick his head up, as he requires a lot of attention here. Now that allows a numerical disadvantage for Monterey Bay. Firmino from his number 10 role, crashing the top of that 6-yard box. But this is some save from Campuzano. The way that he comes across his goal, doesn't know much about it, and his positioning is flawless.
Second time Firmino's been thwarted by an unbelievable block from Monterey Bay. First Gordon and now Campuzano. Moby Fair's ball in was really dangerous, but it's just out of the reach, and Ketterer collects.
But the question is, Sean, for a player of the quality of Nick Firmino, if you can pick out a corner, right, you're asking for a little bit more quality and composure from the ex-Atlanta United player. It sets up terrifically just to open up your hips and simply redirect it and guide it in.
Well, Nick Firmino scored pretty much everywhere he's been in his career. At one point was part of the New England Revolution organization. Then you mentioned, Ricky, Atlanta after some time with Union Omaha in USL League One. And then MLS Next Pro is really burst onto the scene. Atlanta United 2, he scored 16 goals during the 2023 season and did score for Atlanta, the first team that year as well. Was in the Open Cup. Lexington not happy with another coming together on that far sideline. Monterey Bay move it forward with Elijah Paul. He was able to work his way past Hafferty. Paul into the penalty area. Rebelar on the cutback. Was not able to get a shot away. He was closed down. Lyons picks up the pieces. Lyons again. Bends the ball across the face of goal. Touch to the edge of the penalty area here. The volley from Fonguk blocked away. Burke then gives it away. Again, Lexington not able to clear it definitively. Fonguk for Lyons. Still a couple of Monterey Bay players on the edge of the penalty area here. Lyons to the byline. Cuts it back for Rebelar. Rebelar with a hopeful ball into the penalty area. Epps will track it down and will finally move it upfield. But again, it's a lazy pass, and it's another giveaway. Lexington have done this multiple times tonight. Garcia down the byline for Guzman, who tries to dig it out for Paul, headed away by Burks. Again, Lexington in need of a clearance here. Epps again, doesn't look up in time, gives it away. Guzman, clever feet, gets to the byline. And finally, it's out for a corner as Lexington just cannot get out of their own way, clearing their own lines here.
Take a breath on this Lexington side. They're just looking for someone to have a bit of composure yet again. And you're defending third too many times. This ball's been cleared into a traffic area. There's nothing wrong with putting it in row Z, resetting, and getting your organization back. It's just a bit undisciplined over the last 10 to 15 minutes for Lexington off of the ball.
Well, as frustrated as Terry Boss might be, Jordan Stewart's got to be frustrated that they haven't taken advantage of any of these second chance opportunities yet. They could still do that here. It's a sidewinding strike that doesn't get on target. And then a faint penalty appeal from Monterey Bay is waved away as the Seasiders have a throw-in. Well, I'd say Monterey Bay are knocking on the door, but it's almost Lexington locking themselves in at the moment. And Jordan Stewart is crying out for someone to take advantage.
Has to be pleased with the pressure, but has to be frustrated with the lack of execution. The amount of opportunities that Lexington has given you in that final third. The last 10 minutes have been played on this part of the field. All 22 players, or 21 versus the goalkeeper, have been in the attacking third for Monterey Bay.
And case in point, Ricky, you just mentioned it. Miles Lyons had a chance to continue the attack, gives the ball away, and gives Lexington a way out. Rodriguez, first time ball up the other end. It's not going to get to a teammate. Although Monterey Bay have to be careful here. It's a poor touch. Adino Kuhn trying to get a shot away, not able to do so. Rodriguez slips, keeps it alive for Jabert. Williams on a reset. Hafferty forced to go almost all the way back. And then it's going to be a poor pass by Burks, who wasn't on the same page with Jabert. Well, the game has gotten a little bit crazy in these last 10 to 15 minutes, and dare I say, a little sloppy.
For your Terry Boss especially, now this is when you need to lean on your experienced players, like Speedy Williams, just to take this sting out of the game and quote-unquote weather the storm. Right, put your foot on the ball, slow it down, get the confidence within your side yet again. It's all been all one-way traffic for Monterey Bay.
Coming down on the final 20 minutes, plus stoppage time in Kentucky. Well, looks like Terry Boss is getting a change ready. We'll get to that in a moment. Well, fans visit lexsporting.com to shop the Lexington SC team store, your one-stop destination for all LSC gear and official merchandise. lexsporting.com. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez-Espin, our entire crew. It certainly hasn't lacked intrigue. It just lacked that vital moment in the final third. Both teams have come so close, have not been able to draw first blood in this first ever meeting between these two. Still time for someone to grab some glory. Moby Fair moves Monterey Bay forward. It's played toward this near side, a chance for Lyons, who finds Fair just behind him. Guzman, as Lexington moves some numbers forward. The outlet for Lyons. Monterey Bay getting a change ready as well. We'll get to that when it's made. The pass is cut out by Kendall Burks. Allows Lexington to get back onto it with Joe Hatt.
Been so ever for the center back of Jordan Stewart. It's a luxury to have two center backs that are just so comfortable on the ball.
from what we can tell from the technical area, it does look like Mayele Malongo is getting set to come on for Monterey Bay. We'll get confirmation on that in a moment. He scored the winner last time out against Colorado Springs. Near side, Adito Kun. A step over, gets to the end line, cross into the middle. It nearly fell for Rodriguez, cleared away off the 6-yard line. And then Lexington follow up and get a throw in on the back end before the substitutions are to be made. Elliot Goldthorpe is going to come on for Nick Firmino, and the aforementioned Malongo is going to come on for Luke Ivanovic. Malongo scored in the 83rd minute to beat the champs Colorado Springs, last time out in the league. And Elliot Goldthorpe, who actually had a really good year last year for Vancouver Whitecaps too in MLS Next Pro, hopes to try to change Lexington's fortunes here. And that is going to bounce out for a Lexington corner, brought to you by Commonwealth Credit Union. All of a sudden, slowly but surely, Lexington getting more chances down the stretch here. From the set piece, corner came up short, but there was something else that the referee had his eye on in the heart of the penalty area. Possibly some pushing and shoving. Campuzano suggesting an elbow, perhaps. The corner will be taken again. And it's Goldthorpe, who just came on. It's his first touches of the game. Can he find someone in black? It's a better delivery, and it's headed away before Campuzano could get there, and then Speedy Williams could not put it back into the mix.
Just been that type of night for Lexington through 75 minutes. Not clean enough in the final third. The execution has been lacking. Opportunity, certainly not. They're there for the taking, which are unable to really punish Monterey Bay for any sort of mistakes.
Here come the Seasiders up the other end. There's blue shirts available inside the penalty area. Great ball across! And again, the finishing touch not able to be applied by Moby Fair, who did everything he could to get there.
What about this turn from Malongo? His first action since coming onto this field, a bit of pace. And understanding to put in a quality service as Moby Fair is trying to get onto it. He gets underneath it. You have to think, if you are Paul or Reblar, if you can just shout out to Moby Fair to leave it, you're in a better body position, a better angle just to tap it home. But good action from Malongo.
Well, Moby Fair has been with Monterey Bay now for all 4 of their seasons. He has scored 6 league goals during that time. Was not quite able to get on the end of Malongo's pass with any real strong contact. But here he is, moving Monterey Bay forward. Rebelar lays it off for Lions. 15 minutes left here in Lexington. The host possibly staring down the barrel of another 0-0 at home as well, if nothing changes. Just about cleared by Campuzano. The ball does bounce down towards this near sideline. Lions lets it go. Rebelar tried to flick it on, and then one too many Rebelar touches. Gives it back to Lexington. We were briefly talking off the air about this one, Ricky. There's been tons of moments of intrigue mixed in with some lulls as well. Here's another moment from Paul. His shot is blocked. Just in the next sentence, a moment happens. You can't take your eyes off this one despite some breaks in the action. Almost just when the game feels like it's going to teeter off. An injection of moments and intrigue and drama comes in. Guzman picks out Revelar, who was offside. And the Monterey Bay frustration starting to pile up. That was a real opportunity wasted.
It's moments like that that are going to drive Jordan Stewart crazy, especially because Adrian Revelar can see down the line. At the attacking 1-on-1, you have to have the ability to get yourself back on side and be an outlet.
Well, the great fans here in Lexington trying to give their hosts here some late life. Goldthorpe, whose legs are also fresh, moves Lexington forward and then does not have the pass picked out for Epps. Well, his legs were fresh, but his pass was a little rusty in the end.
You have two options here if you are Goldthorpe. You either go on yourself or you play early into Marcus Epps so he can run onto it. But as you continue to take these touches, that window becomes smaller and smaller. Lack of decision making for Lexington.
Well, you talked about Jordan Stewart's frustrations. Both coaches had to be looking up to the heavens and thinking, what do we have to do to get that final feed to work out tonight? There's a giveaway. This could be the chance. Paul stumbled, but keeps going here for Monterey Bay. As teammates either side, Malongo slips as well, but keeps going. Tries to find a teammate, Fair, who nudges the header wide. And sometimes the truth is just stranger than fiction. What a weird and wild sequence.
Loses his footing, Malongo, but actually puts in a good ball. Robbie Fair misses it. Revelar not quick enough off the shoulder.
It does look like Jordan Stewart, who has 2 changes remaining, is getting 2 players ready here. Speedy Williams again directing traffic. Just over 10 minutes left, plus stoppage time. Is someone going to find some late magic? Adidokun. It's a good ball to this near side. Time and space for Rodriguez. Rodriguez to the end line, plays it across, and it's cleared away. Out for a throw-in.
How many times have we seen Rodriguez do quite well to get himself into that final third, but there's just no movement, slashing across that near post. We take a look at Monterey Bay making 2 subs, Arshamed and Gadiri coming in.
Looks like Elijah Paul is the first one to leave us. That allows Arshamed to come on. It's a big deal that Luther Arshamed is out there, hasn't played for Monterey Bay since May 8th of last year in the Lamar Hunt US Open Cup. Lions will make way for Gadiri. Arshamed was the big signing that Frank Yallop made during not this past offseason, but the offseason before that, to try to rectify some of the finishing woes that Monterey Bay have been through. But this is just his 12th appearance. Can he be an unlikely hero, returning from a really bad injury that he picked up at the beginning of last season? He was on the bench last time out against Colorado Springs, but he finally gets back out onto the field. Luther Arshamed. His team has some defending to do, though. In the meanwhile, it's up for grabs here. Williams tried to shoot, lays it off. Adidokun feathers it through, and then it's a chance in the middle here. Rodriguez stopped by Campuzano, who holds on for dear life. And Guzman possibly picked up an injury after trying to impede Rodriguez before he got the shot away.
Everything but the finish for Lexington. Just pure chaos right in front of the goal mouth. Speedy Williams unable to get a clean shot on target. And then just look at the numbers for Monterey Bay, how quickly they close down the space. And you see what Carlos Guzman is trying to do. He's trying to make any sort of play on this ball, even goes with his head as he's laying down right here to push it into the path of Campuzano. Brave from the center back. In the end, almost a goal-saving type of action from him.
Lexington SC fans, be sure to join us Saturday, May 10th, 7 p.m., LSC Stadium to support the women's team as they take on Tampa Bay Sun. It's Pups at the Park Day. We celebrate our four-legged friends. Get your tickets now for you and your pup at lexsporting.com. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez Espin, our entire crew. Couple of wild sequences in these last 15 minutes of the game. As Campuzano just made a huge save, ends up kind of wasting his clearance, out for a Lexington throw with about 7 minutes plus stoppage time left. Still looking for the breakthrough. Ketterer clears it away. Battle for it in the middle of the park. Hero Goldthorpe nearly touched it clear. To move it forward, then Moby Fair commits a foul on Speedy Williams. Gibert plays it to the near side. Adito Kuhn, early ball towards Burke, but it bounces into the penalty area for Campuzano. Malongo does really well, got past a defender, but couldn't keep the ball in play. There was a ton of space for him to run into if he had. Oh, Williams slipped as he passed it back. But it's cleared away by Ketterer, who is ready for anything. And then a flick on by Rebelar, but again, nobody really there to get on the end of it. And there's time and space for Adito Kuhn on this near side. Adito Kuhn cutting inside, he shoots. Oh, it took a deflection, it goes all the way in! I'm not even sure he knows how that went in. But somehow Michael Adito Kuhn has given Lexington the lead with 5 minutes to play.
As a sub, when you come onto this field, you need to provide a little bit of energy, a little bit of quality, and a willingness to put pressure on the opposition. All of the above, Adito Kuhn has done that. Creates a little bit of separation. Is it a shot? Is it a cross? Who cares? Goldthorpe makes that run right in front of Campuzano, so he can't react quick enough. Finds it back of the net. And Lexington are on the lead here at home. But I think there is a bit of confusion now. Does Goldthorpe affect a play, and is he offside?
Did the flag go up here? I think the goal's chalked out. Terry Boss can't believe it. Goldthorpe going up for the ball, from the referee's point of view, impacted Campuzano's ability to get to it. It's erased. The goal does not count. It's 0-0. Adito Kuhn's moment does not count. And all that smoke for naught for Lexington after all that. Wow. Just another peculiar moment in a game filled with odd and wild moments. Oh, Ketterer not happy, Lexington frustrated. They thought that was their moment. Not to be. Lexington, if they don't find the points tonight, will look back on that moment. From what we could gather, Goldthorpe, when the ball was kicked by Adito Kuhn, must have been in an offside position and then interfered with the goalkeeper. That's what the assistant referee must have flagged on the far side. And then how much of that also, sometimes the fourth official communicates with the referee as well, but in the end, and for those that maybe aren't aware, there's no VAR. So the decision on the field, which they eventually ended up saying was no goal, stands. Monterey Bay up the other end. Funguk's cross blocked out for a throw-in.
And I'll tell you what, Sean, top side of your screen, Goldthorpe, he's making a run from Adito Kuhn as he has the ball right now. It's right when he leaves it. Is he in an offside position? And the answer is no. He's onside. Goldthorpe is onside, so this goal should stand for Lexington. Fortunate for Monterey Bay that there is no VAR, because that goal 100% should stand.
From that look, Ricky, it looked like Carlos Guzman was keeping Goldthorpe on. Again, the assistant has the definitive view. We should mention that. But from that angle, it looks like Lexington may have been hard done by here. After all those fireworks, Lexington have to try and win it again. What we thought was a slice of luck ends up finding Lexington unlucky, at least for now. About to enter the final minute of normal time. This is one of those classic situations where 0-0 doesn't even begin to tell you what happened in the match. Referee allows that to go on. There was possibly an over-the-back foul there, if you will, and now it is brought back. Burke was impeded. It's a Lexington free kick as we're closing in on stoppage time.
This is a good call from Thomas Schneider to let advantage play. There ends up to be no advantage for Lexington, so this gets called back.
Lexington sprayed onto this near side. Adito Kuhn ends up being robbed of his first ever Lexington goal. Rodriguez. Adito Kuhn again. Cutting in field. Adito Kuhn to the penalty area. He's brought down just outside of the penalty area. Free kick.
He's changed his game completely, Adito Kuhn, when he came in. The ability to go at players and that final quality that's been lacking. How many times have we seen someone take their individual marker on, and it's the right arm from Garcia Jr. Really clever from the sub as he goes down when he feels any sort of contact.
We begin 4 added minutes. Lexington thought they had won it 5 minutes ago. Can they get it over the line? In search of just their second win in the USL Championship. Goldthorpe and Williams stand over it. It's going to be Goldthorpe. Oh, handball appeals come in from the Lexington players here. It looks like it was just for protection on the wall. But if it hit the arm, that might be one to look back on as well. Certainly an elbow went up. Play continues again. Another flashpoint moment. Hafferty out to the far side. Epps. Epps tries to get past a defender in Malongo. He's dispossessed. Now it's Lexington trying to pin Monterey Bay back. A throw in for the hosts on the far side. Hafferty for Gibert. Is there to be one more late moment of drama? Adito Kuhn. gliding towards the byline. And he's going to run out of room. It's a corner in the end. Ooh, it looked like the ball may have run out before that touch from Garcia. Lexington get the Commonwealth Credit Union corner. Terry Boss takes his seat, hoping that his team can find the late winner. Goldthorpe to take. But before he does so again, the referee making sure there's no pushing and shoving, the best he can at least. Inside the penalty area, just to the right of the penalty spot. Well, Thomas Schneider is still talking to a few players here, making sure it stays civil. And from Goldthorpe's corner, it's headed over the top. Zefal was unmarked. Could not put it on frame.
Fantastic ball in from Goldthorpe. When you do get on the end of it, you do not need to generate power because you let momentum do its thing. You just need to help it on. He gets under it. Zefal mistimes his jump. You can see the frustration from the center midfielder.
Campuzano clears with just seconds left in the match here. Final minute of stoppage time. Rodriguez, early ball up ahead. Goldthorpe will try to track this down. He keeps it in play. Goldthorpe's ball into the middle, took a deflection, and it lands on the roof of Monterey Bay's net. And it's a goal kick for the Seasiders in the end.
Just mishits it. Goldthorpe just tries to put his legs, or does it take a deflection? Really difficult to tell from that angle, but no argument from the Lexington player.
Is that going to be the final act of the night? Campuzano clears. High boot. Free kick Monterey Bay in the final seconds here. It's been all Lexington for the last 10 minutes or so, but can the Seasiders steal it up the other end? Well, just about every blue shirt is in and around the penalty area. This could be the last act of the night. Fair clips it in. Oh, Galloway tried to head it down. Who was it last off of? It's going to be a goal kick. And that's it. Full time in Kentucky. Honors even in a wild game between Lexington and Monterey Bay. The first time they meet is certainly going to be a memorable one to look back on. Both teams rue missed chances in the end. Lexington feel that they had a goal that should have been rightly given, chalked out, and they share the points in the end.
One of the most entertaining 0-0 draws that we've seen in a very long time. This game deserved a winner, and you have to think that it was supposed to be Lexington because the goal from Adekun was not offside from Goldthorpe. The happier of the two managers is Jordan Stewart. You come into this hostile environment, you do not concede. Yes, you weren't as ruthless or as clean in the final third, but you take that point and you go back to California.
Lexington are now 6 matches without a win, and for just the second time in club history, Monterey Bay are unbeaten in 6 straight games. 0-0, the final score. We'll wrap it up after the break.
I shouldn't be here. That's what the first 3 doctors said. That even if I made it to remission, I'd probably never climb again. But I did, because I wanted a different answer. And I found it at UK Healthcare. It took a drug nobody else had yet, 12 rounds of chemo, and a 16-person team. But here I am, right where I was never supposed to be.
Who is Lexington Sporting Club? We are the professional soccer team in the heart of the Bluegrass. From our Youth Academy to the Women's Super League to the Men's USL Championship team, we're building the future. From every corner of Lexington, we are united under one crest. This is your team. This is your community. Together, we are creating our story and leaving our mark. This isn't just any club. It's a club to call your own. Get your tickets today at lexsporting.com/tickets.
Success isn't a game of chance. It's about making the right moves. Just like Lexington Sporting Club, Commonwealth Credit Union aims to win by helping you defend your goals and keeping your money on the attack. As the official credit union of Lexington Sporting Club, we're empowering success on the field and in your finances with smarter banking options and unbeatable service. Are you ready to take the lead? Then get the home field advantage for your finances, only with Commonwealth Credit Union. Here, we see you differently.
Well, after a chaotic ending to this one, Lexington and Monterey Bay forced to share the points 0-0 after this first ever meeting, a memorable meeting between Lexington and Monterey Bay. Sean St. Jacques, Ricky Lopez, Espen back here with you to wrap it up. And we begin by going through the full-time highlights here.